guys, and welcome to the Gamer Beans. I'm AlphaXX, and today I'm going to be showing you some mage specs for PvP and talking a little bit about how to survive in Conquest and PvP and some important tips and tricks and stuff like that. So, firstly I would start off with the achievement tree. See, in the achievement tree I have it all maxed, but the important things you would need to go for, I would say definitely go for the Valor and Vengeance. Valor is exceptionally good, and the break free that can come very handy when you've got people attacking you all the time. These two abilities that cost 300 points I think can be very useful indeed. The rune shield can be very useful. It basically goes by every 20 charge you have. When you use it, it will put one stack of the shield onto you, and this shield reduces incoming damage by 25% each time, and so it does do quite a lot, and it absorbs quite a bit, to be honest. Especially dots, it will absorb a lot of it and big damages, so it can keep you alive just a little tad longer, and it has a 1 minute cooldown, so it's quite good, to be honest. Rift Tomb, this can be very fun. It also uses charge again. The more charge you have, the longer they are banished and immune, but if they use break free, they obviously get out of it. Why is this good? It has a knockback on it. So if you're ever in Conquest and you have a melee on you, or a range or something, and they're standing at the edge, like the range is standing at the edge, you can use this and knock them off, which is pretty funny. I do it quite a lot. Or if you have a melee on you and you know that they don't have a pushback, if you start walking towards the edge and then they'll be in front of you, and then you run past them and then quickly use that, and then you'll knock them straight off the back of the edge. That could be very handy, especially if they're on low health. You can push them off the edge and then they die. Pretty fun, to be honest. So are there any other good stuff in here? There are some. So we've got the green stuff, which reduces critical hit chance by 5%, and this one reduces AoE damage by 10%. Especially good for warriors, because they use a lot of AoE damage, or they have a lot of AoEs like Noisestorm, etc. This can reduce your stun effects by 20%, and this one silence effects by 20%. This can be very useful, especially with Chloro-warlock, which I'll show you later, which then increases it to 50%, so less time stunned. This is the next one. It's called Effing Shell. So whenever you're stunned, rooted, or silenced, you take 15% less damage from players for 5 seconds, and it can occur every 15 seconds. So this can be very handy, especially when you get rooted or silenced, because you can't do jack shit. So it's good to know that you've got some damage reduction there. There's another one that makes you run speed a bit more, and double tap, completely useless. Do not get it at all. So that's done. So this go on for the first spec, I should say. This spec is pretty much my raid healing spec with a little tweaks in it. It used to be 36, 30 Chloromancer Warlock. Per usual, have the 36 and Chloromancer. Basically, I had 2 more in the combat res, which can come quite useful, especially in PvP if you're in a group of people. Very handy. Before I go any further, these trees that I'm doing now they can be used, but they're also not the best. So you can tweak them around. Use these as a build starting block to tweak your specs around, because I don't really have proper PvP specs, because I do raiding as well, so I don't really have much space. Kind of sucks, but that's how it goes. So you can either spend 5 points here in Call of Spring, which increases the effect of direct heals by 15%, so 15% more heal on like Bloom or like that, which can come quite helpful. I think I heal for 4k, 4.8k crit or something like that, very helpful. Or you can either go for Circle of Life, which increases the critical hit every time you put one in. So it could be I think it's 25% more crit when you use Flourish or Natural Healing or Bloom. So technically just Flourish and Bloom. So you can spend your points around those as much as you want. You can, I think photosynthesis is good. Definitely have radiant spores on your person, because it can do a lot for you. Definitely, especially if you're one-on-one. You can probably sometimes heal your lot, or if you're with a big raid, you can heal them quite a lot as well. So Warlock, mainly just the 5s. You got 10% more health, 20% more damage, and whatever, blah blah blah. So when you're using this, you want to be using the Warlock armor. When person 1 hits you, they get hit for about 166 damage, and it also heals about 20 to 30 health on you. So this can be very helpful in PvP. Sometimes their dots are really low on health, so they just do jack shit nothing for you at all. So they're very helpful. There is Mortify, which you can use this when the players are around you, and you can heal. It doesn't really always work, because people always interrupting you, which is really annoying. And then we have Sacrifice Life Damage. Definitely use this. 20% more damage, and you have 2 cooldowns in this spec: Shadow of Life and Nedra's Essence. These can be very helpful, especially when you get, especially in PvP and Conquest. Like when a warrior pulls you into a big Zerg in Conquest, use your cooldowns and you can run back out again. Use your Wild Abundant and you can't get pulled back again. Very helpful. Very, very good. You can be using PvP when you've got a pile of people on you, and you just started. You can use them, keep on healing, and then by then maybe all your teammates have killed all their players, or maybe they've killed all your players. Kind of go either way. Could be very helpful indeed. So that's the Chloro-warlock tree. I'll put all the links in the description below. So I think we should go on to Pyro-warlock, because it's kind of the same. So here is the Pyro-warlock tree. Same in the Chloromancer tree. You can swap them around. You can use Circle of Life. You can probably take some out, put some more in Pyro, or you could probably take some out, put some into Archon for more fire damage, and you've also got like Serum Vitality, etc. So what's good about this tree? Well, in this tree you have the reduces the damage amount of pushback you have by 100% on single target abilities. So if someone's using single target abilities on you, all your spells can go straight through, which is very handy for Chloro. You can just use all your abilities, get him or heals out better. You got your Burning Fury, so you can crit a lot on your abilities. You got reduces casting time of your fire spells and other spells by 5%. Blah blah blah. You've got a Flicker. This can be very handy to move away very fast in different areas. And you've got a Fiery Resolve. This is very good. It reduces silence and hostile stuns and stuff like that by 30%. So with the Blended Attunement, that will equal 50%. Can become very handy indeed. Flame Bolt increases the damage by 10%, and then you've got a few more Burning Fury to increase your fire damage. We have reduces your global cooldown by 0.5%, 0.5 seconds. Sorry, can become very handy, especially when you're cleansing. Oh, very nice. No. So it's going to be very handy when you're cleansing. You could do it very fast, and you've got corrosion as well. Blah blah blah. Pretty handy. You've got the improved Glyph's power. People always debuff you, especially and on the other tree as well. The Chloro-warlock. It's quite annoying, but you also have Heat Wave this time, so you can spam some fireballs and hopefully get them down. So this one is more damage and healing, where the other one is more staying alive and healing. So it depends which one you want to go for. You can spend some points into burning buns and make them rooted for 8 seconds. It depends what you want to do. So, like I said again, this is the starting blocks really. So what's better about this than Chloro-warlock? Well, you have the less stuns, you have the movability, and you got the pushback. You got heat wave. It's quite handy in the global cooldown. But what's good about the Chloro-warlock is you've got opportunity can come very handy. You've got 10% more health, which when I'm PvPing I have about 13k health. This is very handy because most of the time people go for people with lower health. If you have health under 9k, they presume that you have shit gear, so they always target you. So having more health can be a bonus. You do 10% more damage or 20% more damage with the buffs, and you also have the sacrifice life damage. Warlock armor, very handy indeed, and you got your 2 cooldowns, which are very handy, completely very handy. So the next one, I think we should move on to the DOMs. So this is Pyro Dom. This is pure damage and pure annoyance for people. So again, you can spend points wherever. You can take one out of Priest Lambs and put it into intelligence. I have 10% more, depends where you want to go. I tend to have it in there. It's going to be very annoying. So Pyromancer, you have a lot of damage doing. It's pretty much like the other one before, except you don't have the pushback. You have more in Fireball. You have Flicker again. You have Wildfire, and this very important one is Fire Shield. This is what I should have had, to be honest, in the in this tree. I'll link it again. But instead of taking one out, I'll take one more out of Burning Bright and put it into Fire Shield. What does Fire Shield do? It basically, after being hit, you have a 30% chance to receive a shield that absorbs damage up to 15% of your maximum health for 10 seconds. This can occur every 30 seconds. So this can come very handy, especially when you on your own as doing DPS. Very handy indeed. And you've got your cooldown of Heat Wave, blast it out. So Pyromancer tree, pretty awesome. They didn't have Firestorm, but you could put one in Firestorm if you wanted an AoE. But then again, maybe. So Dumb. What's good about Dumb? Well, first of all, you have Transmogrify. When you use this, your cast speed will be increased by 50% for 5 seconds. So when you've used this, you really want to use Storm Shackle. What does Storm Shackle do? Storm Shackle applies for 14 seconds. It resists for 3 seconds, and after that, when they move, it deals about 1k to 2k damage for 3 ticks and snares them for 5 seconds, but it also does it to 8 enemies. So this can be very handy if they don't cleanse it off. Always use Transmogrify and then Storm Shackle. After Storm Shackle, I use Traitorous Influence, especially most of the time because I use them on healers. And this every time they use an ability, it will do damage onto them, and it will take away some of their mana, energy, or power. This can be very handy indeed. So you've got another cooldown, Split Personality, and it makes it 100% instant. These are very annoying, especially to warriors and to everyone. Basically, this is so annoying. So important stuff you have Priest Lamps. What does this do? This is mostly used on Chloros and some clerics, not all, but mainly use that on Chloros. You have Arresting Presence. I use this a lot because it silences all enemies nearby, and it's got charge, so they can keep it used in it. Sometimes people are immune to it, some people aren't, so it can be very handy. You got Mana Drain. They definitely use this on clerics because most of the time people do not target clerics. Always use this on clerics, get their mana down completely. So macros, what do I have for this? I have transference. Oh, let me get it up. Macros. Done. I have transference, void, shroud, accelerant decay, and Incompetence. This is good. This actually increases the healing. Increases healing spell cost by 20%. So you can either use this on a cleric, or you can use it on a warrior, where causes damage to be done to heal 5 raid members to 200 health. So it either heals up to 200 to 400 or 200 to 500 health when you use this on a warrior or a melee person on you. This can be very, so depending on your situation, depends who you use it on. That's why I have it off, because if you have a warrior or something on you, I would use that on them, and then if I'm in a big group, I'd use that on the cleric to make sure that their health or their mana goes down really fast. So you have Voice Shroud, which reduces their healing received by 50%, Salivant to Decay, increases their auto attack time by 25%. You've got Decoration, definitely use this. Debuff, very handy indeed. I have Death's Addict in a macro with Fireball, Flame Bolt, and Countdown, because it stuns them and then reduces their movement speed by 70% by 10 seconds. Very handy. Haunting Pain, I don't really use this at all, and that's about it basically. Oh yeah, always use Thunderbolt. Thunder Blast is a knockback and also an interrupt. This can be used to knock people off cliffs and stuff like that, or to interrupt them as well. Very handy, very good. This spec is very annoying for people. You can leave people as sheeps for like 8 seconds if they don't have a break free. If you don't attack them, you can kill the other person that they have there. Up to you, what you really want to do really. So, another spec is Chloro-warlock. This is very annoying and very good. I would probably recommend this probably. It's have all the dom spells again, all the mana drain, stuns, reflects, debuffs, everything you want to annoy people as much as you can. You can annoy clerics like fuck, mages, you can annoy warriors and rogues, because it power drain, mana drain, energy drain, completely annoying to everyone. So, but the good thing about this is you can heal yourself. So this one, you're going to be staying alive for ages, and you're going to be annoying people for a long time. So this one you can probably kill more. So it's going to be using the same again as before. So Ruin, Nature's Fury, and Vile Spores. That's what I use. But you could also use but that's all you're going to be using from the Chloro really. Damage wise, and Corrosion, very handy. So you're going to be doing a lot of healing, but also a lot of annoying things to other people. So it depends. Do you want to go for this, Chlorodom, Pyrodom? It kind of depends what you want to do really. You can have all of them, and different situations you can do that. And the last one, this is 51 Dom. Yet again, I don't know where to put the 15 points. I'll put it in Chloro so you can heal yourself a little bit. That's all I can think of. This is mainly, I would say, used for Conquest. Mass Betrayal, 2 minutes cooldown. It applies to 10 enemies, and it does lots of damage, and it regains nearby. Just does so much stuff to your mana, energy, power. It could completely wipe your mana out if it doesn't get cleansed. It's very good. That's why quite a few people use it in. Oh, fuck off. That's why quite a lot of people use it in Conquest, because it's very handy. That's about it from spec wise. So these are the starter specs really. You just need to make sure you're looking out and stuff like that. Make sure on warriors you got when they have a cloud above their head, make sure you do not go anywhere near it. Make sure you flicker out of it, run away. Make sure you got some heals ready, because that's going to be annoying. Rogues, not much you can do about them. They're very annoying, especially the melee ones who shift around. Sabos, even I have struggles with them. So if you have low health, low valor, I say try go for a spec that has a lot of healing and a lot of health or something like that, just so you can stay alive longer. And it's going to be quite hard. Mages are quite squishy. Try and stay at the back. I like to be on the front, especially with my especially with this spec. I'm always at the front. So then again, any spec I use, mainly this one. If you see someone in the Conquest jumping around at the front, it's always me. If it's someone in a Warfront or something, it's always me at the front, just because I like to be in melee range, because I use corrosion a lot, and I just fuck around. If you ever look at a Warfront table, I'll be either 1, 2 or 3 on healing done, and then if you look at the damage done and healing taken, I'll be top on both. Always top, because everyone always piles me. I'm always getting so much heals. I'm just basically a mage tank, just tanking out everything that comes to me. It's pretty fun, got to admit. And that's some stuff about PvP and Conquest. Make sure, if you're in a big Zerg, make sure you're using something that you're going to stay alive in. Don't go to the front if you're a mage, just always stay at the back. Pyrodom can get any warrior rogue down super fast, very handy, and there's other stuff that can be very handy and annoyance to people. So that's been me. I hope this has helped a bit for you people that do not know what specs. Remember, the specs will be below in the description to check out what where the points are spent. If you make sure that you use this as a starting block, not as a full, because there's other points you can spend wherever you want. Depends what your style of play is, basically. That's been me, AlphaXX, and the Game Beans. Make sure to like, subscribe, and to comment below. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.